Sometimes I imagine having a home again. I think about the sounds of it, the things I miss, and most important of all, the sound of a door locking. Then you can go to bed knowing you're safe. That's the dream.
LAPD, come on out. Anybody in there? Anybody home? Sleeping in there? Gotta clear out.
Won't be long now. Say.
Hi, my name is Troche, and my project is called We Live Here. This is an interactive virtual reality project about homelessness. This is a project that is an Oculus VR for Good project, and I was partnered with Mark Hovarth of Invisible People.
Invisible People is the only education-based nonprofit in the United States working to end homelessness through innovative storytelling, journalism, education, and advocacy.
Working on this piece with Mark was just an education. It's just, I can't say enough. He's fierce, and you should look at Invisible People. It's just, the stories are compelling and heartbreaking, and it is really a place where you can see people's stories. So taking that idea of Invisible People, these interviews that Mark does where he doesn't even do a cut, I wanted to come from a place of sincerity and authenticity.
This VR film partnership between Oculus and Invisible People is making history. It's the first time that a VR movie, stars a homeless woman playing herself. So my favorite part on the set was, like, Emily was just here, and she was the producer. And they don't normally connect to homelessness.
No.
But they loved on you, and now it's just natural. They're coming to visit you at your tent.
I know.
These are, Hollywood people.
Yeah.
And they're coming to see you.
Because they know now it's not just, it's not just dirt and grime and we're dirty people and we're drug-induced people. And there's people here that they're well educated. There's a guy over here that plays amazing guitar. He speaks 5 languages. Just a little turn of event that caused his homelessness. Could happen to anybody.
Everybody, we're doing a walkthrough. Half-speed walkthrough. Not half-speed, but a little bit slow walkthrough.
As we prep for production, it was vital that we be respectful and aware of the community. Rose had been working with Stacy and Eric from LA Housing for several months. Our cast was a mix of those who had previously experienced homelessness and those who had not. I think having that depth of experience really helped to keep authenticity and to also be respectful of the community.
When I met Rocky, she was living in a tent in the Sepulveda Basin. And I think what's so cool about Rocky is that she is just funny, dynamic. She's kind of a genius.
I'm making doors for everybody. And I just made the frame. This is old one. And I wired it all up together. And this part here is in the ground with a empty can of beans or whatever. That way it swivels on that. And
how long have you been here?
I've been up in the park for 3 years now.
She's just like, her ingenuity is crazy. She made herself like a makeshift kitchen, a bathroom area, a shower area where she had like a 5-gallon tank that she would, set up to, kind of pour down this cold water. And what I was struck by as well was that she just kept the inside of her tent so homey. It was really like just her endurance and her ability to not let it get her down to the point where she was down and out.
One of my favorite aspects of the project was getting to know Rocky. There was a wonderful moment when she was sharing with us the story of her first love, and we all shared similar life experiences.
Rocky has such amazing stories, and the stories are there are only a few that are in the piece, but the stories in the piece are really just, they're through and through Rocky. And like sometimes it's like when someone gets married on a motorcycle, you need to put it in a piece, right? Rocky got married on a motorcycle. in 1978 on her way to Sturgis. She is a rancher, someone who wanted to be a cowboy. Her father was a cowboy, and she wanted to be a cowboy. And she taught herself and then went to school to be a cowboy and got her cowboy degree. And I just think that that's amazing. So what we did was we used her home as just a template. Like it was literally, we tried to recreate Rocky's tent in another park. Rocky writes poetry. That was the first thing that I knew. I knew I wanted to have animation be a part of the piece. And when have objects open up into animations and animated stories about Rocky's life, it just seemed kind of perfect for her.
From a technical standpoint, this project was very challenging. We used several different approaches and techniques to craft our environment, our world. We did this because we wanted an environment that felt very multidimensional. Rocky is a multifaceted person, and we wanted to make sure that the world that we were bringing the player into represented all the different stages of her life.
With all of these pieces and interacting and being in Rocky's tent, I want you to have a sense of safety, a sense that you kind of feel comfortable and you understand this is home. Because in the end, that home gets taken away from you. And I really want the viewer to feel what it's like to have that indignity happen to you, to have some place where you felt safe be just ripped away for no reason.
Grab my stuff or what?
Grab your stuff now and let's get going. We have 10 minutes. Come on, that doesn't mean dilly-dally. We need you out of here now.
What I know now, as opposed to when I started this whole thing, is I know that some of the ideas that I had about what brings someone to be outside, to lose their home, are things that are really quite simple. Predominantly, it is about not having affordable housing. It is about not having proper health care. It is about a series of things that could possibly happen to you, that happen to all of us.
Most people blame homelessness on the homeless person. It's their fault. They're a bum. They're a drug addict. They make bad choices. If homelessness was a punishment for bad choices, we'd all be homeless.
Your average blue-collar man that's got a job, has a house, has a car, PTA, soccer mom, soccer dad, they all look at the homeless as, oh, they're going to catch something. They look at the homeless like they're better than us. And I made $70 an hour. I wasn't better than them, and they're not better than me. Just a bad turn of events that snowballed into this.
Living in a tent.
Living in a tent.
And through this project with Rocky and spending so much time diving into her past and into her current and what she wants for the future, it brings together all of those shared life experiences that we have. And it also really teaches you to not just define someone by the current circumstance that you see them in, but to truly honor their identity and to not let them become invisible.
I mean, to this day, Rocky's dream is to just be out with the horses, you know. And that always kind of breaks my heart because it's such a simple dream. And, you know, I would love for her to have that. Yeah, because everyone should have their dream. It's not, I don't think it's too much to ask.
Come on over here. See? That wasn't so bad.
The sign that said if we lived here, we'd be home by now. It's coming down.
You're safe. You're safe. Nobody's going to hurt you. Stay here. Stay with me. Come on, boys. Stay with me.
LAPD, you are camping illegally. Everybody...
So if you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
I would have a wishbone.
A wishbone?
And a funny bone. And a backbone.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
This movie will connect people who might not normally engage with the crisis of homelessness in a meaningful way that will create empathy and drive them to tangible actions.
And ultimately, I want you to be left believing and knowing that we all need housing. That I don't know how this happened, that we let people live on the street. I don't know how we let this kind of crisis of humanity happen, but we have, and now we have to solve it. I'm hoping this piece puts it in your head.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me.
You're welcome very much.
And it's an honor to meet you.
I have never heard anybody say it's an honor to meet you. That just blows me away. My pleasure.